Hello everyone, it's Lynette again with the Skin Candy. Today we're making a new remake. This is our coastal water soap. I was making this for a while as a sea salt soap. However, because coastal waters tends to rise and accelerate trace, and because I am using a slightly different recipe, I have been putting palm oil is it in placement and everything? No, I think it was just additional. I'm putting in there because I have a lot of palm oil that I want to get rid of. And I figured the best way to do it is to put it in soap. It is amazing in soap. This is responsibly sourced, so don't worry your pretty little heads about if it's killing orangutans. This is actually sourced from a place where, a country where the villages actually grow palm trees for the sake of making palm oil. So it's not hurting our rainforest, which is very tragic. I can't stand the thought of that. And it's not killing off. It was from what I've read, it's when they're in the rainforest, it has to do with some type of orangutan. I don't know. So I just want to let you know, this is going to be a coconut milk soap, and I have not added any of my additives. So there are several things in my soap that are going to be causing acceleration. I'm worried about even doing it at the temperature that I'm doing it at. Yeah, right now it's reading at 102. I'm going to put my additives in here, and this is the coconut milk. Ooh, that's a lot of coconut milk. That's okay. Oh! Ah! I guess that's one way to get the stuff off there. Yeah. Okay, let me clean my hands. But inside I'm going to put the additives in there, see if it drops the temperature a little bit. I would like it to be below 100. So every time I make this soap, I try something different because, I was talking about acceleration. So not only does the fragrance oil speed up trace and the palm oil speeds up trace, but additives like kaolin clay will speed up your trace, and the coconut milk, because it's sugar, will actually help speed up trace too. So, but we have to add these things to our soap because it's so good. So I'm just adding my kaolin clay. That was my colloidal oats. Now I'm adding my kaolin clay. There we go. And then I am going to, so my lye solution is just a 50-50 blend of water and sodium hydroxide, and I just used my stick blender to mix it up. It's been sitting for a couple of days, so it was pretty crusty on the top, so I just blended it all in, got really good. And now I'm going to mix this up and see where we are temperature wise. Might have to come back in a few minutes. And then, let's talk colors while I'm sitting here. We'll let that sit for a minute. I'm using Key West Blue from Micas, and I've mixed this in with just a little bit of sunflower oil. And then I figured the sunflower oil is one of the ingredients in here. It's a sunflower olive oil blend, so it's not going to mess up anything with the lye solution, even if, not that it really would. And then I'm going to be using Goldfinger for the gold. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something a little bit different. I've seen people where they've taken the soap and they've poured kind of some of it down, and then they take the gold and then they put it in so they take the gold and they put it down the middle, and then they pour more on top and put it down the middle, and then they kind of take a chopstick or the hanger's tool and kind of swirl it in, and then I'm going to do some gold on the top. I'm going to try. Really, it's going to depend on how fast I can get this in. So this does rise, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to barely mix it to emulsion. Barely mix it to emulsion. I am going to split it off for colors. Then I'm figuring I've got about 100 with my lye solution and water. The lye solution, my additives, I have about 170 ounces of oils of mixture here. So I think it was 170. No, not 170. 140. So I need to split off about 70 to 75 ounces into a separate container. I am going to then mix my colors in. Then I'm going to I will not hand stir in my fragrance oil because of the fact that it rices. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stir in my blue, and then I'm going to stir in my white. Normally I would do it opposite, but because white speeds up trace so much, and I'm using titanium dioxide, I'm going to do the blue first, wipe off my, clean off as much as I can of the stick blender, and then I'm gonna add my white. I don't know why I'm talking so fast. Probably because I had like a humongous monster earlier. So, I'm really excited because I want this to work. I'm not going to do the salt this time. We're just going to leave it the way it is. This is like, I'm not kidding you, it's got to be between this. Yeah, it's one of my best sellers. I sell it really good in everything, but I have a client who cannot keep this in stock. She sells it like gangbusters in the lotion and in body butter and scrubs and everything. I personally do not like it for myself. My husband loves it. I don't like it for myself. I don't like the way it smells. It has something in it. I don't know if it's vetiver or something like that. It's just not a scent for me. However, everybody else in the world seems to love it. So maybe I just need to learn to like it. I don't know. So let me mix this up and then we'll do a temperature check. So also I keep bouncing back and forth. I keep seeing things. So I made a new bottle of my titanium dioxide. So what I did is I did a 2-to-1 water, water to titanium dioxide. So I did 2.5 ounces. Was it 2.5 ounces? Yeah. 2.5 ounces of titanium dioxide to 7 ounces of, yeah, I think that was 2-to-1. 7 ounces of water. So, and then I have some steel balls in here. You can hear that. Some steel marbles that help keep it. And then I did put 0.5% preservative in here because it is water. It's going to be sitting for a while. If I was just making one batch, I wouldn't worry about it. But I need to put a little bit of preservative in there to keep it from like molding and growing anything over time. I actually did mix it with warm water and it seemed to dissolve it a lot faster. We're going to mix this up. I have these funky little stick blenders. I have had these for a while, but couldn't find the bottoms to them, and nothing else would fit in it. The one thing about this though is like when it starts out really low, and then it just keeps going and gets louder and louder and more powerful. So the one thing I'm not liking about this mixer is I feel like it's putting a lot of air in my soap. However, I have not done dishes this week, and so I have no stick blenders that are, that are clean that I can use. So we're just gonna go with this one. Oh, I'm gonna need to get some whisks. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Yeah, really? Wow, that dropped. It's now down to 88 degrees. That's perfect. I'm finding with the palm oil, the cooler I go, the better it is. So. All right. So I'm going to put this in. We're just going to get started. So, let's see. Oh, sorry. We're using Coastal Waters. I don't know if I even said that at the beginning. This is from Midwest. This is the only company I know of that carries this, and I believe it's one of their originals. It is amazing. It is so yummy. I love it. It's amazing in everything, except for it does rice a little bit. So but it still is a 5-star for me. So we'll go ahead and get started. Without further ado, let's get soaping. back to cut coastal waters. And the camera shut off before I was able to get everything finished. And I was in such a panic to try to get everything pressed in. I didn't change out the battery. So that's what one looks like. Here's another one. And then this one, tried to volcano. So I don't know if you can see it from the, you probably can't see it from the top. But it did bow quite a bit. It did pop up. I did get it into the freezer fast enough that it didn't crack or you know, volcano over, but it was still kind of a mess. So we're gonna cut these and see if we can save them. I'll be right back. So happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day, happy 250th birthday of the United States. That is amazing. I remember 50 years ago, we had just moved into a new home, and my window faced my window faced west, and I was watching the sunset, and behind our house we had a field of spearmint, with a lot of spearmint farmers out there. And I remember my dad came in and we were getting ready to do fireworks. And my dad told me, he said, you know, this is the 200th birthday of America. And I was like, really? I remember that moment. I was only 4 at the time. But I remember him telling me that. Weird, huh? But I remember the 200th anniversary or 200th birthday of America, and I felt an extreme amount of pride for my country and love and gratitude for being an American citizen. Just as much then as I do now. I love being an American. I love being a citizen of the greatest country in the world. I love that I have a husband who sacrificed 22 years of his life when he could have been working and working on a career. And, ooh, yeah, that's pretty sad right there. Working on an education. He chose to give up that right to protect the rights of all Americans. And he absolutely loved being in the military. And I am very proud of him. I'm very proud that he can say that he served his country with honor. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to stop babbling on. But happy Independence Day, everybody. I hope you guys give a moment today to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for the freedoms that we have and for the ability that we have for freedom of speech and the right to bear arms, and for our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, for our forefathers who knew what this day was going to be like 250 years later, and they knew what they needed to do. So let's get cutting. It is kind of soft still. I thought it would be a lot harder. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. It is not as swirly. I do think I know what I'm going to do. I was watching a video by Eartharella Soap, and she was using a fragrance. It was lavender, floral, which they are known, got some holes we'll have to fix, known for acceleration. So she, oh, those might get cut down into pieces. I don't know. Like, the sides look awful. But she added her colorant to her lye solution. I have never seen that before. I probably, well, maybe I have, and I just didn't take notice of it. But I'm wondering if that might help with this, if I mix it in beforehand. So I'd have to split my batch up for my white and my blue. And this, yeah, this one's going to be a tragedy, I can already tell. Wow. Look at this, all this. Ugh. Yeah, this might, don't know. Don't know what we'll do with that one. I love this fragrance. I just hate that it accelerates so fast. It accelerated even faster this time. So I'm wondering if I just need to split the batch off and add my colorant beforehand so I don't have to have an extra mixing. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get 2 layers in. I don't know. I think part of the problem is also trying to get 3 batches into this mold, into 3 different molds. So wow, for being as sad as it is on the outside, it looks actually pretty darn good on the inside. Huh. I did a pretty good job smushing it down. So I don't know, these might be salvageable. Let's see when we trim them down and what we need to do. So even the colorings, or the swirling's pretty nice. Okay. Guess you just never judge a loaf of soap by its outside. So I thought this one was going to be the worst. And it actually ends up being the best. So anyway, so I think I might try that. I don't know. Or I just go to one color. I just do one color, mix it in, be done. I don't know. If any of you guys are soapers out there and having experience in this, please let me know, because I need all the help I can get with this. That one's got quite a bit of blue. Oh, wow. Okay, this is the one that started the volcano. So I was really worried that I was going to have some big holes in here from the volcanoing, but must have got it in time. Got a little bit of a hole, but that'll be fixed when we trim everything up. So overall, I am actually pretty impressed with the turnout. The loaf I thought was going to be the worst, or the best, ended up being the worst. And the one I thought was going to have big holes in it because the volcanoing ended up being very nice. So there we go. There is the cutting of our coastal waters. These will actually be available on the website by the time that this tape is put onto YouTube. So again, coastal waters, coconut milk soap. So this is a vegan bar. All right. So until next time, we'll see you later.